Like, oh, there you are.
Here I am. Okay. We're going to start with some windshield wipers so you can start on your back. For these windshield wipers, we're going to keep the legs bent to 90 degrees, and we're really going to let the legs fall all the way to the side to get a good stretch. So arms out to the side, legs bent to 90. We're going to drop slowly, and make sure when you get all the way to the side that the shoulders are facing the ceiling. You take a big breath out here, and then under control with the knees and the feet together, bring them all the way to the other side. Take the time to give yourself a big breath out at the end of that rep. Let's get one more rep on each side. When you're done those guys, you can flip over onto your front. We're going to bring right foot to right hand. Drop that right elbow. We're going to come up and rotate towards the ceiling and alternate sides. And just make sure that when you're bringing the foot up, that the shin stays perpendicular to the ground. If you want to add a bit of a challenge to this one, we can rotate to the other side. So you'll drop your elbow and then now rotate away from your front leg. Let's get one more on each side. Nice, and when you're done those guys, we're gonna go into a deep squat to stand. So we're grabbing on the toes. We're gonna pull ourselves down to the deepest squat that we can. When we're in that deep squat, we're driving the elbows into the knees and pulling our chest up really tall. Taking a big breath out at the bottom. Keeping the back flat, standing nice and tall. Now, if you can sit your hamstrings right onto your calves in this position, then you can rotate to each side. But if you're not quite here, keep on moving up and down without the rotation. When you're at the bottom, drive the elbows into the knees first, pull your chest up. You should feel a good stretch in the groin. And then the next time you stand, you can stay standing. Feet really wide, arms together. One hip goes back into a lateral lunge, and we're going to reach our elbow to our knee, and then come back up. Hip goes back, elbow to knee. Make sure you break it up into these 2 moves. We want to go hips back first and then rotate. And as you do that rotation, you keep your chest up. Let's get 1 more to each side. Nice. Then we're going into inchworm. Hinging at the hips, trying to keep the legs as straight as possible. Walk out without the hips wobbling. When you get to the edge, chest up and squeeze your butt. And walk up nice and slow. If you feel like you want a bit more of a strength challenge this morning, when you get out to this position, don't go into upward dog, go into a push-up and a rotation. If you're doing that rotation, get onto the side of the feet. Yeah, full body rotation. Is your last interim in here? Nice, guys. We're just going to use whatever room we have to do some gentle plyometrics, gentle dynamic movements. We're going to do a side shuffle. So I've just got about this amount. As soon as I get here, planting that foot in and coming back to the start. Just stay nice and low, athletic stance here with your butt back. Then we're going to go into some butt kickers. So butt kick, just be nice and easy on the hamstrings at the start here. Heels to your butt as far forwards as you can, and then backwards. If you have no room, you can just do these right in place. As you start to trust the hamstrings, you can start to snap the legs a little bit more. Really getting all the tissues nice and warm and explosive. All right, we're going to go into a skip. So for the skip, opposite arm, opposite leg. Forwards and then backwards on the way back. As you start to trust the body, drive that knee up. As soon as you land, get off the ground. Same thing sideways. We skip and back and forth. And try not to let your feet cross over here. We want to keep the feet apart the whole time. Good one. And then we're doing a karaoke. So one behind, one in front. Lots of little steps here, back and forth. Looks nice, guys. Good there. We're going to go into some lunges. You got a couple options for lunges. Just a warm-up set for right now. We're going reverse, opposite arm, opposite leg. One leg at a time. Okay, if that's like really easy, like you're getting nothing out of it, you can do these little split squat hops. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of explosion. We will get to the crazy. And same thing on the other leg. Always making sure that we're pressing through the heel or the midsole of that front foot, not getting onto the toes. Nice, guys. That's good there. We're going to flip over, or not flip over, but go down to all fours. We've got some giant hip circles here. Now, when we're doing these hip circles, we're dragging our knee through the biggest range of motion that it can go. But the idea here is that the air around us just got really, really thick, and we're pushing our knee through that thick air throughout the whole range of motion. That's going to help us open up some more mobility. So we're going to start by planting all other three limbs hard into the ground. Now kick your foot against that heavy, thick air until you feel your butt squeeze at the top. And now it's like you're dragging your knee through a bucket of sand as you pull it into your armpit, into the chest, and then back around for your second rep. We're gonna go for 3 reps here, nice and slow, like 1 mile per hour. Once you get 3 reps backwards, we're gonna go forwards. So the knee goes into the chest, out to the side like you're peeing on a fire hydrant, and then kicking back. And just take a look at your elbows as the knee goes out to the side. Make sure that they're totally straight. We're going 3 reps forwards. Once you get that 3rd rep forwards, same thing on the other leg. So again, starting by kicking back, drag the knee out to the side through that really thick air. Make sure that the elbows aren't bending. Every rep trying to get more range of motion. Once you get 3 going backwards, 3 forwards. Nice one, guys. Flipping onto the back for a single leg glute bridge with a 2-second pause at the top of the rep. Driving through the heel, finishing with the glute. Take the time to pause at the top and find the glute. Don't let that straight leg bob up high. It should be, the thigh should be in line. Same thing on the other leg. Continue driving through that heel and finish the motion with your butt. Your last 2 reps on that side. All right, we're gonna be standing for the next one, a little bit harder leg work here. Again, listen to the body. Option 1 is gonna be to reverse lunge and alternate. Okay, if you have any issues with the knees, any issues with jumping, stick with that one. No issues with jumping or knees. We're gonna be alternating. We're staying nice and low and switching the legs. So we're not trying to get maximum height here. We're trying to keep nice and low and switch the legs. We're gonna burn them up for 30 seconds. All right, so go for it. Whichever option is the right one for your body. Little bonus effects for coordination, opposite arm, opposite leg. Hold strong for 6 more seconds. Time. Nice one, guys. We're gonna go down for some push-ups. For our set of push-ups here, we're gonna do a shoulder tap push-up. So you're gonna do your regular push-up. When you come up, we shift to the side, tap the shoulder, shift to the other side, tap the shoulder, and come back down. But no hip wobble. If I do that shift, I'm here, not here. Nice. Good shifts. If you're finding it tough to shift without tilting your hips, bring your feet a little bit wider. It's your last push-up shoulder tap in. When you're done that one, we're gonna stay on the ground for a swimmer. Face down, hands on the highest part of the low back. The key here is to keep the hands as high as possible throughout the entire move. We're bringing the hands up. Keeping them up as high as you can the whole time. And the slower we move to that range of motion, the more we talk to the shoulders. Finish off your last rep going backwards. And we're going to be back to standing for some reverse jumping lunges. So on this one, we're going backwards, and then we're going to drive up. Oh, that one wrong. Drive up and right back. Drive up and right back. Okay? Again, if the knees don't like the jump, you're here, drive that knee up, and then come back. No matter which variation you're choosing, make sure that you squeeze that quad out at the top. We want a full range of motion in that end range of motion. Same thing on the other leg. Still thinking about alignment. We want that knee in line with the hip, in line with the ankle. Don't let the knee travel inwards. Keep the knee out. Good work, guys. We're back to push-ups. This time for our push-up, we're going to go a little farther back. So we're going push-up, and you're going to reach back for whatever you can get, really. If you can get your toes, going for the toes. If you can get your shins, going for the shin. If you can get your hip, go for your hip. Whatever body part you're going for, make sure that you're shifting almost into a downward dog when you go back. So the heels come to the ground and your butt goes to the ceiling. Let's get 2 more push-ups. And we got another set of swimmers. So lying on your stomach. Maybe this one feels a bit different now that the body has done it once. You might be able to extend the triceps more, squeeze the arms a little bit more. Last rep. Finishing at the low back. Good stuff. All right, we got the hamstring walkout. So we're going to go into a 2-legged hip bridge. From here, we've got to keep the tension in the glutes. Okay, so we've got to keep the hips towards the ceiling as much as possible. We're going to walk out one heel at a time without the hips shifting until we're as long as possible without the hips dropping. And then tiny little steps back to your hip bridge. Reset the glutes and walk back out. If this is tough on the low back, stay in your hip bridge and move up and down through a hip thrust through a pain-free range of motion. Let's get 2 more walkouts. Nice one, guys. We're going to stay down for a plank series, starting with the side plank on the elbow. So in that side plank, if you stand 5'6" usually, you're going to be 5'6" horizontal right now. That means you're going to stand with your feet on the ground. Pretend you're standing with your feet on the ground. Head is reaching long this way. Still try to keep a little bit of engagement in the core like you're taking a punch in the stomach. Last 10 seconds. If you'd like to bring your top leg up, go for it. Time, same thing on the other side. Starting with that regular side plank, feet like they're standing on the ground, head reaching long. Just give yourself a little tap in the stomach to make sure that the abs are turned on. Squeeze your quads out. You want to try to bring the top leg up for 10 seconds. Time. Nice, guys. We finished with the front plank. Now we're all in different places for our front plank. We got a few different variations. Number one is going to be on the elbows, just holding that front plank nice and tight, squeezing the butt. Maybe you want to add a leg lift in. If you're doing that leg lift, we got to initiate that plank first and then kick up. And when we do that kick up, you can see my hips don't bob up. They stay pretty straight, but I'm feeling my glute squeeze. If you want it even harder than that, you're going to shift onto one side and reach long, shift onto one side and reach long. Choose your variation and go for it. Ten more seconds, hold strong. Time. Nice one, guys. We're going to finish with a little shoulder burner. So these are rear delt flutters. We're going to go onto the front side, head on the ground. You're going to bring your hands as high as you can and flutter back. Don't let the arms go back this way. Keep them out to the side. You can get them up as high as you can. Yeah, keep the pace. We want to go a little bit quick with this, as high up as you can. Ten seconds, hold strong, squeeze it out. 3, 2, 1, time. Nice work, everybody. That's it for today.